This story follows Henry, a retired U.S. military officer with a steely gaze and a heart set on transforming lives, who steps into the challenging role of a teacher at a school overrun with defiant students, and we'll see how he reshapes their chaotic world. The tale begins as Henry, his military boots still polished from years of service, walks into his old high school, a place filled with memories of his own rebellious youth, now determined to live his dream as an educator after retiring from the military. He meets the principal, a gray-haired man with a skeptical frown, who declares that Henry's lack of teaching experience makes him unfit for a job, his voice dripping with doubt as he shuffles papers on his cluttered desk. Unfazed, Henry pulls out a crisp letter signed by high-ranking authorities, its official seal catching the light, proving his credentials. The principal, stunned by the document's weight, reluctantly agrees to hire him, but assigns him to the infamous Section D, a class notorious for its unruly students who defy every teacher, ignoring lessons and firing back with sharp, mocking retorts that echo through the halls. The next day, Henry strides into the classroom, his presence commanding yet ignored by the students, who treat the room like a playground. Some sprawl across desks, snoring loudly. One strums a guitar, its twang aimed at impressing a giggling girl, and a group huddles around a makeshift stove, the smoky aroma of instant noodles filling the air as if they're at a campsite, not a school. Feeling the sting of their disregard, Henry decides to break through their indifference with sharp wit, calling out, "Hey, you noodle chefs, it takes 10 full minutes to cook those? Not 2. And pointing at a student glued to his phone, "You PUBG addict, you're playing like a total noob, aren't you?" His words spark laughter, finally drawing their eyes to him. Seizing the moment, Henry introduces himself, chalk squeaking as he writes his name and phone number on the board, but his scrawled handwriting triggers giggles from the class. One student, Jack, a lanky kid with a defiant smirk, dials the number and whispers for Henry to slip out quietly. His voice dripping with mischief, Henry laughs it off, his chuckle warm but firm, refusing to be rattled. The students, unimpressed, return to their chaos, ignoring him once more. Determined to take control, Henry grabs a piece of chalk and hurls it with precision at the fire sprinkler, triggering a sudden downpour that soaks the room, water dripping from desks and startled faces as the students finally lock eyes with him, stunned into silence. With their attention secured, Henry welcomes them to his class, his voice steady and inviting, setting the stage for a battle of wills that will define their journey together. After class, the story shifts to 5 backbenchers, led by Jack, who harbors a quiet crush on a senior girl, his eyes lighting up whenever she passes by as they sneak into the dimly lit sports room, cigarette smoke curling in the air as they puff away in secret. Their rivals, a clique of wealthy basketball players with smug grins, burst in, their taunts slicing through the haze, mocking Jack's poverty and igniting tension between the two groups, who glare at each other like sworn enemies. Later, seeking revenge, Jack deliberately spills a water bottle on the basketball court, its slick surface causing the team's captain to crash to the ground, prompting uproarious laughter from Jack's friends as the captain scrambles to his feet, red-faced. Their English teacher, a stern woman with glasses perched on her nose, catches them and assigns a punishment, her voice sharp with disapproval, but the group retaliates with a prank, spilling water across her desk and slipping away as she fumbles to clean the mess, her papers now a soggy heap. Meanwhile, the principal, pacing anxiously in his office, his tie loosened from stress, frets over the school's tarnished reputation as the education board threatens to cut 20% of their annual funding, their inspectors already on their way to scrutinize how the school manages its resources. Back in the classroom, the students set up another prank, balancing a bucket of water above the door, its contents glinting in the light. But Henry, his military instincts sharp, kicks it aside as he enters, the bucket clattering harmlessly to the floor, leaving the students wide-eyed with shock. Undeterred, he begins teaching, his voice calm but authoritative, and asks Jack for his cigarette pack, having noticed the faint smell of smoke on him. Pulling out a cigarette, Henry challenges a student to name 3 ingredients in it, offering a chance to skip class for a correct answer. The student, eager to impress, answers correctly and adds a cheeky tip about rolling it in paper for a better hit, earning the skip as the class cheers, desks rattling with excitement. Henry hands each student a cigarette, asking what smoking does to their bodies, and instead of a lecture, he paints a vivid picture of tar clogging their lungs, his words gripping the class for the first time as they lean in, captivated. When the bell rings, he collects the cigarettes, even from a reluctant Jack, whose scowl softens slightly. Later, Henry reviews the students' files in the quiet of his office, the pages revealing their struggles, Jufa, son of a Pakistani immigrant, faces cruel discrimination and false theft accusations from neighbors, yet clings to his dream of becoming a musician, his fingers itching for a guitar. Denon's father despises her for not being a boy, ignoring her desperate attempts to win his love, even after she cuts her hair short to mimic one. Bruce and Krish, brothers abandoned by their mother, live with an alcoholic father, with Bruce escaping into video games and Krish toiling at a grocery shop to keep them afloat. Jack's file, mysteriously blank, offers no clues to his past. Meanwhile, Jack, working as a waiter in a dimly lit hotel, spots a fancy lighter belonging to Chianan, a shady MMA betting thug, and steals it, only to be caught and beaten, his cries muffled as Chianan's men pin him down. Learning Jack's a student, Chianan tosses him some cash and offers a food delivery job, his smile cold and calculating. Henry visits Jufa's home, finding him and his father fleeing after stealing a ticket, pursued by an angry crowd. Henry intervenes, calming the mob and defending Jufa's father, then takes Jufa to a bridge where a band performs, their music filling the air. To boost Jufa's confidence, Henry joins the band, strumming alongside them, inspiring Jufa to play, his fingers dancing over the strings as he performs for a crowd for the first time, his face glowing with pride. Henry convinces Bruce and Krish's father to enter rehab, his words cutting through the man's haze of denial. Denon's father buys her makeup, insisting she act feminine, but she, furious, smears it on her brother and steals the car keys, speeding off. Henry stops her, warning about illegal driving, and takes her go-kart racing, inviting her father to compete, hoping to bridge their gap. During the race, a truck nearly hits Denon's cart, but she's unharmed. Her father, thinking she's hurt, weeps, revealing his love, and Denon, tears in her eyes, embraces him. Jack and Bruce interview a recovered alcoholic, shocked to learn it's their father, who apologizes without revealing their connection, moving them to tears. Jack, now working for Chianan, is coerced into spiking a fighter's drink for a bet. Caught, he's beaten and locked in a locker, his cries echoing. Henry arrives, hears him, and fights Chianan's men, knocking out their top fighter. At the hospital, Jack tries to tell the police, but Chianan silences him. News of Henry's heroics spreads, making him a school legend. A flashback shows young Henry, a troublemaker, throwing water balloons at a piano-playing kid, breaking his hand, and getting suspended, forcing him to leave for the US. Now, his students respect him, studying hard, except Bruce, who's addicted to drugs from family stress. Henry vows to help, but Bruce, depressed, jumps from a balcony, falling into a coma. The media blames Henry, and the education board revokes his license. As he leaves, students plead for him to stay. They study harder, and on exam day, Chianan traps them in the school to sabotage Henry. Henry fights Chianan's men, freeing the students, and learns Chianan is the kid whose hand he broke, blaming him for his lost music dreams. Henry apologizes but spares him. The students pass their exams, boosting the school's rank and securing extra funding. Chianan resumes playing piano, Bruce recovers, promising to retake the exam, and Henry returns, dousing his new batch with a fire sprinkler, ending the story. So guys, if you love this video, hit like, share, and subscribe, and check out our other videos. Until next time.